okay? Which is perfection, which is perfect, okay? This is and I'm gonna go into it what had happened to Adam, okay? And why it's saying what it's saying, and why Paul is saying what he's saying to the Corinthians in Greece, which were Israelites. This second Ezra 3 and 21. Second Ezra 3 and 21. It says, the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed and was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him. So, like I was explaining earlier, when you read, like I was explaining earlier about the flood. Now, the descendants of Adam are Noah and everybody that's on this earth. But you have a chosen line which the Heavenly Father chose. Okay? Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back up and show you. I mean, that's the spirit. But I'm gonna jump around. Well, when you read Genesis, the 9th chapter, in the 18th verse, 19th verse, it tells you that Noah's son repopulated the earth, and Noah was the offspring of Adam, okay? But I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna jump back and I'm gonna explain something. He said, the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, meaning a mind, transgressed and was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him. So when you go back to Corinthians 15 and 45, it says, and so it was written, the first Adam was made a living soul. Even though he was made a living soul, he wasn't a quickening spirit, okay? He couldn't resist sin, like who the world innocently called Jesus, okay? He was a quickening spirit, but Adam was just a living soul. He got the commandment, but he couldn't resist breaking them. So when he was overcome, he had a wicked mind. So anybody that was born of Adam has a wicked mind, okay? Has a wicked mind that's on this earth, okay? And going back up, Adam, out of that line, the Most High had chosen a chosen people, and we're finna go into it. This second Ezra 3 and 5, and gave us a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of thy hand, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, okay? And and he was made living before thee, and thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted. Where I'm at is 2nd Ezra 3 and 5. Now I'm in verse 6. And thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted before ever the earth came forward. Verse 7. And unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way, which he transgressed, and immediately thou appointed death in him and in his generation, of whom came nation, tribe, people, and kindred, and out of number. Death is sin, okay? And every people, verse 8, 2nd Ezra 3 and 8, and every people walk after their own will, and did wonderful things before thee, and despised thy commandment. So they looked at his commandments as insignificant, okay? So that wicked mind, after Most High, after he transgressed the law, which Eve done it first, but it was brought to Adam. Okay, she was the one that was deceived, but by him being joined to her, the Satan went to her and deceived her, and she deceived Adam. So when he was deceived, that's when death, which is sin, was put into him. Okay, and he was caused to transgress the law. Okay, and the generations that was born of him despised the commandments of the Heavenly Father. Okay, they looked at it as if it was insignificant, as you see today. And again, in process of time, brought the flood upon those that dwelt in the world and destroyeth them. And it came to pass in every of them that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to these. Okay, so it was death to them. Okay, just like it was death to Adam. Okay, because of their sin, and the earth was flooded because of Cain. Okay, and as a matter of fact, I go over there and get it because I mentioned that. And Jake, he said, "Well, how you know it was flooded because of Cain?" Well, I'm gonna show you. Okay, I'm gonna show you. All right, this Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha 10 and 3. But when the unrighteous went away from her in his anger, he perished also in the fury wherewith he murdered his brother. Who was that? Cain. For whose cause the earth being drowned with the flood, wisdom again preserved it and directed the course of the righteous in a piece of wood of small value that's going into Noah. Okay, that's going into the ark, that piece of wood. Okay, so he was in there. Okay, and when I was explaining, Noah and his sons, through his sons, repopulated the earth, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. When you read Genesis, the 9th chapter, okay, and around the 18th verse. Okay, so that shows you the earth was flooded because of who? Cain. Okay, which that same spirit of Cain is in the so-called white man today. That's why the Most High got it stored up for fire. Okay, that's the purpose of that's the will of the Heavenly Father and His Son, is to burn this place with fire because of what? All the wickedness that's being done on the earth by the so-called white man, which he is a descendant, and that same spirit is in him, and that was in Cain. Okay, he is a descendant of Cain. Okay, so going back to Ezra. Okay, now I'm dealing with Adam, the first Adam. That's what I'm dealing with. When you read, like I'm saying, 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter is what I'm dealing with, the first Adam. Okay, that's what I'm dealing with. And this second Ezra 3 and 10. And it came to pass in every of them that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to thee. Nevertheless, one of them thou leftest, namely Noah, with his household, of whom came all righteous men. And it happened that when they that dwelt upon the earth began to multiply, and had begotten them many children, and there were a great people, they began again to be more ungodly than the first. Now, when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name was Abraham, whom thou lovest, and unto him only thou showest thy will. Verse 15, and madest an everlasting covenant with him, promised him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed. Now, you got Abraham had 8 sons, okay? 8 seeds. Now, everybody didn't come out of Abraham. No, the whole world did not come out of Abraham. Abraham had 8 seeds, okay? The earth was repopulated with Noah's sons, Sam, Ham, and Japheth. And the lineage goes from Sham, it goes from Arphaxad, Peleg, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the chosen line right there, okay? It don't go to Sham, Aram, okay? Israelites are not descendants of Aram, okay? Arphaxad and Aram are brothers, but the chosen line went through Arphaxad, Peleg, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? Which are the Syrians today. That's Aram, okay? Okay, verse 15. Hold on. Verse 14. Now I start at 13. Now when they live so wickedly before thee, thou dost choose thee a man from among them whose name was Abraham. Him thou lovest, and unto him only thou showest thy will, and madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. I put up this sign, Jacob and Esau. So you see. So earlier, the young brother was saying, we suppose the so-called white man is righteous, and we supposed to embrace him in righteousness. Nah, he's not our brother in righteousness, but he is our brother. Okay, he come out of Isaac, but he's not our brother in righteousness. He's the wicked. Okay, he's the wicked. This is Jacob and this is Esau. Esau is the wicked. Okay, you got three categories of men on this earth. You got the sons of God, okay, which is Israelite. You got the sons of men, which are the other nations, and you got the sons of the wicked, which is Esau. Okay, and his nation. Okay, and it says, and unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. And for Jacob thou didst choose him to thee and put by Esau. So he didn't give Esau the covenant. He didn't have a covenant with Esau. Esau got a blessing, which was a sword. And the scriptures tell you plain today, he who lives by the sword shall die by the sword. So right then and there, which Isaac was who the world illiterate called Jesus in reincarnation, because when you go back during the time of Abraham getting ready to sacrifice Isaac, it wasn't time for Isaac to get sacrificed at that time. But when YAHAWASHI came upon the scene, which if you understand reincarnation, YAHAWASHI was a sacrifice at that time. So he was Isaac. So Isaac, which was YAHAWASHI, gave a blessing, which was a curse to Esau. He gave him his blessing, which was a curse, which is the sword, and Esau lived by the sword. So what are he gonna do? Die by the sword. So in the spirit, Esau got set up. So all the opportunity of him being in a great position, of him getting blessings and living forever, was against him, man. All odds was against him, man. Okay? The Most High hate Esau. He knew what his track record was gonna be when he was put on this earth, man. He created it, okay? Through YAHAWASHI, okay? This verse 16, this 2 Ezra 3:16. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee and put by Esau. And so Jacob became a great multitude. And it came to pass that when thou leddest his seed out of Egypt, thou besought them up to Mount Sinai. And I jump down, I go straight, well, and bowing the heavens, thou didst set fast the earth, moving the whole world, and madest the deaf to tremble, and trembleth the men of that age. Okay, what it is the Most High showed his power, and he showed his power when he came down to Mount Sinai and he gave Israel them statutes, laws, and commandments, right? And he showed his power by delivering Israel out of Egypt, okay? The whole world was trembling at the time of Yahweh, okay? And the Lord went through the four gates of fire and the earthquake of the four winds of the cold, and thou